I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
To all you Blues fans, we're bleeding blue with you.
Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues.
Bluenote Fan Report coming to you live from the beautiful island of Oahu in the state of Hawaii in the country of the United States of America. This is your only hockey show coming out of Hawaii. Yes, that's right. I live all the way out here in the middle of the Pacific, but wishing I was living there with you in the Lou. It is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan. Well, got to remember that's also known as. Got to take that away. Got to stop putting that out there. I will sooner or later. I'll figure it out. This is Guy Benson, your host on the Bluenote Fan Report. Today, the St. Louis Blues announced their fan ballot for the Hall of Fame, for the Blues Hall of Fame. This is their second class. First class included all of the retired numbers, and then a few were added in there. We had Gary Unger get in there and a couple others, and it was a really great weekend, great night. And we'll talk about today's ballot a little bit, and we'll also talk about some other things that are going on. Let's see here. First, we got E. Guido saying, let's go Blues. Ryan Green, Richard Henry Doolittle saying, it's been a while. Yes, it has. I took some time off. Jason Nichols saying, yo, yo, yo. Hey, Jason. Richard, am I still planning? Yeah, I am. I just, still things I got to take out. The brace is off. No more brace. Yay. Yes, I can start doing, I've started occupational therapy. Still got a long way to go with my hand. And that's got a lot to do with it. But I do plan on being in St. Louis for at least a month, over the month of October. For part of the season, I plan on trying to go to some games, do some shows, do some live shows, get you guys involved. That's great. Where are we at here? What platform? Not sure what you're talking about there, bud. Maybe you're talking about Shocky watching Shark Week. No, I never got into Shark Week. I don't know. It just never was me. I just never got into it. Before we get into the Hall of Fame, I want to talk about something else that this was out there. This has been out there for a couple of weeks, but I didn't see it until today for some reason. Or if I saw it before, I kind of like bypassed over it. I saw it today and I was like, yeah, this is something I think that we could kind of look at. And let me bring this up. The Blues put it out. I do know that. Sometimes it's hard for me to figure this out. Where we're at. Okay, here we go. So let me put this out there. So this is a little block that they put out. Now, you're supposed to fill this out, but you cannot repeat a name. Yeah, Gloria, yes, I haven't. I need to do it more. I don't know. That mine really don't get watched. So, I mean, I appreciate the ones that do. Ryan says he's glad to have Sonny back. Won't fix a broken team, but he can contribute to a successful one. Maybe. Let's go over this. So you have to come up first with a Hall of Famer, a first round pick, and an NHL award winner. Then they have to be either a Cup champion, played 100 games, or captain. Now, Cup champion, you got to kind of think about this, right? And NHL award winner. Did they? I mean, so the question is, did they have to get that with the Blues or not? Right? Because if they had, now it can be foreign or current players. So, but the thing is, with Hall of Famer, none of the current Blues are in the Hall of Fame. So my guess is that the Cup champion does not have to be there. It does not have to be with the Blues. It could be anybody that won a captain. There was some, see on the side here. I haven't looked at them out. There's some out there. I tried to think about the best way to fill this out, and for me, you gotta do the hardest one first, right? It's on Discovery Channel there, bud. You have to do the hardest one first. For me, the hardest one is NHL award winner, right? Well, actually, there's 3 of them. AC, there's 3 of them. You're missing one. There's one more. One more. About 7 minutes ago. Right? AC, you're missing one. There's one more here. Let's see if you can get this one. There's one more here. Right? Oh man, come on. I don't want to give it away. There's one more. Okay. O'Reilly, there's still one more. You're missing a big one. You're missing a big one. All right. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on, come on. Come on, AC. I know you got it. I don't want to say it. I mean, I know you got it. I'm waiting on you. There's one more. Well, I hope this isn't Ryan Green, because if it is, you're going to get at least muted. I'm going to get to the point where I'm just not going to even look at YouTube anymore. I mean, I may get to the point where I don't even put it out on YouTube anymore, because I'm tired of getting the scammers. Come on, AC. Right? Okay. Was Jackman a captain though? I don't know if he was. Because I know Ryan. Okay, you're on YouTube. Never mind, Ryan. I thought maybe you were someone put the famous Mike, and then I'm not. You can figure out what the other name is on there, and I thought that was you. And I'm just not gonna deal with that stuff. Okay. Jackman won the Calder. That's right. Hart won the not Hart. Poe won the Hart. You had Pronger, who also won the Hart. You had O'Reilly, who won the Selke. So there's 4. There's one more. There's one more. One more. Hull was a Hull. Yeah, Hull and Plant won the Vinzes. But they were not caps. That is correct. Fuhr has won a couple of awards, but he was never a captain. Right? I know where I put Fuhr. I would either put Fuhr as a Hall of Famer Cup champion or Hall of Famer award winner. Now the 100+ games has to be with the Blues. Right? Man, AC, I can't believe you're missing a big one. A big, big, big captain who won numerous NHL awards. And if that doesn't give it away, I don't know what will, without me saying who it is. The Norrises. Well, that is correct. That's correct. There's one for an NHL award winner that I think would go under the 100+ games. That would be like a head scratcher, but I would like it. You don't have to win it here. You didn't have to win it here. That's the thing. You didn't have to win it here. Gretzky was a captain and an NHL award winner. Right? It's just like Cup champion. Right? Because there's no way that you could have to win it here and be the Hall of Famer. Now, you did. I see this. You did have these three things had to happen with the Blues. These three things, in my eyes, didn't. Right? Oh, you can't kind of see what I'm doing there. Okay. So Cup champion, played 100 games, and captain, to me, those all had to happen with the Blues. Hall of Famer, first-round pick, and NHL award winner didn't. These did not have to happen while they were a member of the Blues. That's how I'm looking at it. Right? So let's try this. Let's start down here at captain and NHL award winner. And for me, I would go with Gretzky. I have to think. Well, that's not as a player though, correct? I don't think that's as a player. You know, McGinnis in the front office. Yeah, there's another one, right? Didn't McGinnis wasn't a captain though. Right? To me, I don't know, because it says played 100 games, captain, cup champion, that they need to be players. And I think it did say players on it. Right? So I don't know. You could go a couple different ways with that. That's a tough question. That is a tough question. Now, the one that I would put here at played 100 games and NHL award winner. I know you can't. I'm thinking that you can see it when I move my mouse, but I don't have that page up. The one that I would put here, I want somebody to come. Think about this one. Someone who played 100+ games with the Blues and won an NHL award, but it's not one of the big ones. This is one of the ones that kind of sits out a little bit. Right? So it's not Hull. It's not Hall. It's not Plant. Jacques Plant. It's not those. Right? But there is somebody out there that won an NHL award that played 100 games that I want to know if someone could pick it up. No, I'm not putting Jackman there. Right? I put Jackman in the center. First round pick and played 100 games, or even first round pick and captain. Right? Cup champ, Hall of Famer. Yeah, you could put Hall there, Glenn Hall. You could. That's one that could go there. I'm right now trying to fill out the bottom middle, and I have a guy in mind. Actually, Cup champion. I said that you Cup champion. You did not have to be. You didn't have to win the cup here, right? You did not have to win the cup here. I don't know if Pietrangelo won an award, right? Yeah, you could put Eric Johnson in the center. You could also put him in first round pick and cup champion. Right? You could. You could put him there too. Right? There's a name out there, and it's one. No, Petrangelo's not retired yet. No. There's one name out there, Blues NHL award winner. Here's the caveat to this. Right? Yeah. Well, it depends. Some guys brought up front office. Al McGinnis was in the front office, so he could possibly fit that. He was in the front office, but I think it needs to be players, right? I want you to there's one name out there. There's one name out there that won an award that I haven't heard anybody mention yet. One name out there, they won an award. Here's the thing. The award no longer exists. And I'm pretty sure he's the only Blue to ever win this award. Right? I remember they used to have, now this was a long time ago, they had the award he won down in the arena in the lower level, where in the lower areas where they had the like concessions in the arena. They had a special concessions for the guys for the lower seats. The award was actually right there. Oh man, somebody's got to get it. Right? Somebody's got to get it. This is the one obscure one. So I was thinking of obscure ones for each one of these because, everybody's going to get the da-da-da-das. I was looking for the obscure ones. Right? Like captain Al Arbor, he's a Hall of Famer. He could be there. Right? First round pick. There's you could put Thomas there. Right? Why not, Win? It's just me today, and I'm just kind of going over some. We are going to talk, Wendy, just so you know, we are going to talk Blues Hall of Fame here in a little bit. So you're more than welcome, though, my friend. Let me fire you. Twitter changed their icon, so it makes it a little harder for me to know where it is. Not used to. Let me fire Wendy a link. Oops. Yeah, okay. No. Did I get it? There we go. Shot Win the link, and we'll kind of go from there. But, oh, man. We are talking about this spot right here. NHL award winner and played 100 games. This is the only spot on this chart that this player could go. Only spot. I'm absolutely positive of that. Right? Nope, not Vladdy. Vladdy's never won an NHL award. Oh, actually, no, he's been nominated. He hasn't won one. Right? Oh, and don't forget, Hull also won the Lady Byng. Right? Come on. I mean, this, you got to really, 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 really look at it. Chaser won the King Clancy. Did he? I'd have to look that up. Oh, man. I'd have to look that up. Hold on a second. Hold on a sec. Thought I pulled it up. Oh, here it is. Oh, no, that's not the right one. Someone's going to get this. At least I hope they do. It's not letting me pull up what I'm trying to pull up. I just heard wind pop in. Hey, Windy.
Hey.
So the spot I'm trying to fill, I have a name in mind, and it's obscure. I was looking for obscure things. No, Clancy was what's the Clancy for? I think it's like
It's basically the charitable award.
one, right? What? So let's go over the chart. You have to put a player in each one of these blocks, right? They have to be a cup champion who was also a Hall of Famer. A cup champion that was a first round pick. Cup champion that was an NHL award winner. Played 100 games with the Blues. I will say that has to be a Hall of Famer. First round pick, NHL award winner. And then a captain of the Blues who was each one of those things, right?
Yeah.
I was looking for obscure names. Dimitra. Did Dimitra win the Lady Byng? I think he may have.
I don't know.
Speaking of, because the one thing I said is that the award that this guy won no longer exists. And Gretzky didn't play 100 games for the Blues. Gretzky can go in 4 of the blocks, actually. Right? He can go in 4 of them. He can go in here. He can go in the Hall of Fame Cup champion, Hall of Fame captain, NHL award winner, Cup champion, and NHL award winner captain. He can go in those 4 blocks. That's it. He did not play 100 games with the Blues. And here's thing that most people don't remember. Wayne Gretzky was never drafted.
Mm-hmm.
He was never drafted, right? So I've got a player in mind. It is a obscure player, but a known, well-named player that won an NHL award that is no longer an award. I don't think so. I don't think any Blues, I mean, they've been nominated, but I don't think any Blues ever won the Masterson. I could be wrong. It's not Jackman. Not Paul Correa. I don't think Correa played 100 games with the Blues, to be honest.
Yeah, I wouldn't be that good on this Puck-Dooku for you guys on your Blues. For Cup Champion Hall of Famer, I would.
Could you come up with an obscure one for the Blackhawks? Played 100 games and an NHL award winner.
For the Hawks?
Yeah. Now, I'm not seeing, everyone knows the big ones, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about that obscure guy that real fans will know who he is. And maybe an obscure award.
I'm trying to think of a good one for the Hawks because there's a couple.
I can't see the link, AC. You gotta I guess AC sent me a link and I don't see it up here. The Ted Lindsay. I still don't see the link that AC put out there. Rick Mahar won the Selkie. Ooh, that's a good one. Not the one I'm thinking of. Remember, here's the qualifier for this. The award that I'm talking about no longer lists. Steve Larmer for the Hawks. Is that one?
Steve Larmer, he won Yeah, he won the Calder Trophy.
Oh, there you go.
He played over 1,000 games with the team. He had the Ironman record in the 90s.
Yeah. So not really that obscure?
No, that's not obscure at all. He's he's a fan favorite. Hawks fans want his number retired and him in the Hall of Fame. He should be a Hall of Famer.
Right? I'm gonna give one more hint. This guy's brother also played in the NHL. Right? I can't believe nobody's. I can't believe all these guys. I know I'm throwing.
For the Hawks, obscured one, I would say Dirk Graham, Selke Trophy.
Suter, I don't think ever won an award, but he was the first. Suter was a second round pick, I think. Suter might have been a second round pick. The thing that's getting everybody is this award no longer exists. Can you think of an award that no longer exists, Wendy?
I'm trying to think because the one I'm thinking of is it got replaced by the Ted Lindsay Award.
Which one was that?
The MVP voted upon by the players.
Yeah. Nope. That's not it. This award. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's there. I'm looking at it now. So I just pulled up from. I just pulled up from what do you call it? Wikipedia. So I think it's pretty on there. Yeah. See, this is one. I'm surprised. I thought only one Blue won this, but it was wrong too. So the award, I'm going to go ahead and give it out now, right? No one else got it. You could there's some good ones on here, right? Now that I'm looking at the list here, but the award, and I knew it, and then there's another obscure one. Well, maybe not obscure, but I don't remember the name. Phil Goyette. And Dimitri did win the Lady Byng. I did. That was right. I wasn't sure. I thought he did. Kelly Chase got the NHL Foundation Player Award, and he did win the King Clancy in 97-98. Okay. The one that I was thinking of, there we go. AC finally got it. Cavallini. What was it? Gino? I think, yeah, Gino Cavallini won the Plus Minus Award.
Oh. Yeah, well,
that's a good one, though. I mean, so I was looking because it's so easy to fill it out with the ones that everybody knows.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, what obscure names could you put in there?
Yeah.
Right? It's like for me, first round pick, Cup champion, I'd go with Johnson, Eric Johnson. Right?
Mm-hmm.
First round pick, played 100 games. I might go with a current player. I'd go with maybe Robert Thomas.
Okay.
Right? First round pick that was a captain. Now that one's a little. I think for me, I'd go with Pietrangelo.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd go with Pietrangelo there. Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer Cup champion. I think I'd go with Glenn Hall there.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer that played 100 games. Because I'm trying to find obscure ones. I see. Oh man, I don't know. I have to think about that one. But for captain, I think I'm gonna have to go with Al Arbor. I think he was a I know he was a captain of the Blue, and I'm pretty sure he's in the Hall of Fame. Am I right or wrong?
Arbor's in the Hall of Fame as a coach.
As a coach?
When did you guys have Al Arbor as a player? Because I know he was a player for the Hawks.
Our first couple of years.
Okay.
Right? Oates wasn't a captain on the Blues, I don't think. He was an assistant, but not a captain. And I don't think Oates wasn't our first round pick, at least not of ours. He might have been somebody else's first round pick. Hey, I think it was a fun thing to do, and I was just thinking about what obscure names could you throw out there, right? Right, like Gretzky could only fill 4 spots on this list.
Yeah,
because he didn't play 100 games for the Blues, and he wasn't a first round pick, so he could only do the corners, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, Oates. You could put Oates in there. I guess Oates. I don't know if you could consider that obscure, especially, but he did have a divorce with the Blues. And I would put Arbor as captain, but also, like for me, Hall of Fame captain. When I think of a Blues captain that was a Hall of Famer, Fedorko comes to mind. Right? Fedorko kind of comes to mind there.
I could tell you this: if I did this for the Hawks, I can name it off pretty quick.
Okay, go ahead. Let's start. Hall of Famer, Cup champion.
Hall of Famer, Cup champion. We'll go with, since he is a Cup champion, he didn't win it with the Hawks, but I will put him there. Tony Esposito.
Esposito, okay, that's a good
choice.
He
won it with Montreal.
Yeah, no, good choice. Okay, played 100 games as a Hall of Famer. Now, this is the one where it has to have been on your team.
Yeah, which there's a lot. We'll go Pierre Pallant.
Okay. And then Hall of Famer, captain?
Could have put Pallant there, but I would... Chris Chelios.
Okay. There's a name that you didn't put in any of those blocks that surprises me.
What?
There's a name you didn't put in any of those 3 blocks that surprises me. And I'm guessing that you're not going to put him in any of the other blocks.
I'm trying... Which name are you talking about?
I wouldn't say that this guy's obscure, but he's had a falling out with the team.
Trying to think of who you're talking about.
Big name. Recently passed.
Oh, Bobby Hall?
Bobby Hall, yeah.
Well, he was never a captain.
He wasn't. Okay, I thought he was.
He did play over 100 games with the team, yes. He did win a cup with the team, yes, but I didn't want to go that way. I wanted to go like Chelios as for captain there. I could have done Stan Mikita there for sure, but I went Chelios there. I went for the 100 games played Hall of Famer. I already am blanking who I said, damn it.
Not Esposito.
Esposito I did with the cup.
You did when it was kind of like an off name.
Oh, Pierre Pallant.
Yeah, Pierre Pallant. There you go.
Who played forever with the team. So that was a good choice.
First round pick.
First round pick, Cup champion. Well, there's a lot of those I could choose from. I could choose Kane. I could choose Taze. I could choose Seabrook. Let's put Brent Seabrook there.
Okay, Seabrook played 100 games.
Well, trying to think of another off the board here.
I would actually, for this one, I would go with someone. I think there's a guy that would only fit in this block or the last block. He wouldn't. Oh, actually, no. He may fit in that block. I might be wrong. He might fit in all 3 blocks. And it's not obscure. It's honoring somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Recent.
First round pick, 100 games with the Hawks. I will go. I'm trying to go through it. Eddie Olczyk.
Okay, Olczyk. That's a really good one. Captain.
I could put Taze. I could put.
That's the one that I wasn't sure of. That was the one I was thinking of.
I could put Savard. Put Dennis Savard for captain.
Okay, Savard. NHL award winner, Cup champion.
Cup champion. There's quite a bit I could choose from. Duncan Keith. I could put Taze, Kane. Put.
What did Taze? What award did Taze win?
He's won a Conn Smythe. He's won the Selke. Okay. He won the Mark Messier Award for leadership.
Pound me. I wasn't sure.
For Cup champ, NHL award winner, Corey Crawford.
Okay, that's a good one, actually.
2 Jennings trophies. 100 games, NHL award winner. I could put him there. Right there, put Bobby Hall.
Okay, that's a good one. And captain?
Jonathan Taze.
There you go. I thought you put Taze up here. You can't use them in the same.
I didn't use Taze. I used Savard at first round.
Okay, yeah. You got
captain.
me. Okay. So now that we've done that, let's do the next one that I want to kind of talk about. Let me see if I can find it here. Here we go. So today, the St. Louis Blues put out their fan ballot for put us down here like this there, Wendy. Let's see, I can't move. Yeah, I can't move you over, can I? Nope. Their fan ballot, I'll have to go back to this way. For their or I'll do this. I know it takes us out, but they can still hear us. At least I think they can still hear us.
Yeah, they can still hear.
Okay. So this is the fan ballot, and I'm just going to read off the names, and then I'm going to let you guys, you can only pick one, who you think, and then me and Wendy will talk about who we think it is. I know, Wendy, you're not a Blues fan, but you still have an opinion on this, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So let's go. So we're going to start. Al Arbor, Wayne Babich, David Backus, Jeff Brown, Kelly Chase, Pavel Demitra, Grant Fuhr, Barrett Yakman, Curtis Joseph, Mike Liut, Adam Oates, Larry Patey, Jacques Plant, Rob Ramage, Jimmy Roberts, Brendan Shanahan, Alexander Steen, Keith Tkachuk, Pierre Turgeon, and Tony Twist. Now, let me reiterate something here. This Hall of Fame ballot is not only about what they did on the ice. It is about what they've done for the team, what they mean to the team. And when saying that, there are some names on here that when you see them, you go, huh? But when you take the totality of it, they make sense. Now, is there any name on there right away where you just go, no way I would vote for that? Wendy?
Brendan Shanahan.
That's not that's a decent pick.
The reason
for me that when I look at this, the name that like jumps out at me, there's two of them where I go, why are they on here? is Kelly Chase and Tony Twist. But
Okay.
when you take the totality of it and what they've meant to the team, Kelly Chase is a big, big reason that the Blues have an alumni group and that they're an active alumni group. So that's important to me. One that's on this list that I have, and I got to tell you, I love the guy and I would vote for him. I just have a problem with him being on. Oh, wait, you know what? And before we get there, I'm going to get back to you guys. And where am I at? I have lost my chart. I lost my screen. Oh, here it is. Okay. Not what I wanted. Okay, so my thing is dropping. Where are we at here? So I want to know who you guys think. Shanahan forfeited electability with Catherine Janney. I still don't know if that was true or if that was a rumor, to be honest, because you got to remember, guys, I wasn't around when that happened. I was overseas, right? I was overseas. So for me, I have a harder time with that than you guys do.
You
right?
want my reason why I would not? I kind of question Brendan Shanahan even on that list.
Yeah, go ahead.
To be quite honest, he's more a Detroit Red Wing than he is a St. Louis Blue, in my opinion, just because he won the Stanley Cups with Detroit. He honestly meant on a whole lot more to Detroit's roster, comparatively speaking, to what he meant in St. Louis and what he did for St. Louis, in my opinion.
My thing is, see, for me, I go and I look at what was it. Shanahan was the reason we lost Scott Stevens, right? And I look at that mess, and then you have the issue where he gets traded away because of the locker room stuff, and that's the harder one for me to look at and go, yeah, I'm okay with that one. You know, AC says he's still married to her. Okay, well, hey, you know, then if he's still married to her, then there was a lot more going on than meets the eye on that one. Right? A lot more going on. There is a name that absolutely sticks out to me as it's like an automatic vote.
Dimitra,
right?
That's who I would just say who would be the vote I would give, just because the hockey world lost him way too early.
Yeah. Right? And tragically lost. They lost the guy that should have been playing in the NHL, not the KHL.
Yeah.
Right? For whatever reason that he didn't get picked up, he was still one of the best players. He was still a very, very good player at this period. Right? Yeah, so I mean, Dimitra is the one that like just automatically leaps out at me. But he's not the only one. Oh, wow, man. I wish I could have been there for that. I remember Harold Snepps, right? Yeah, I think wasn't he the last guy? I know he was the last Blue, but I think he was the last guy to wear a helmet in the NHL. Right? Am I right or wrong on that, Wendy?
I don't know.
He was one of the last ones. I know that.
To go without a helmet?
Without a helmet.
The last player was McTavish.
McTavish?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
Steps was the last one on the Blues not to wear a helmet.
Okay.
Because I know at one point he was the only guy out there not in a helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I do remember that. Right? I don't think McTavish was on the Blues at that point, though. Right? I
Mm-hmm.
don't think he was. No, it's a good talk. I mean, it's interesting. Let's just kind of go over the names. We'll go over them individually. You good with that?
Sure.
You're a hockey guy. We'll start with Al Arbor. Let's say, so if you were media, you would have gotten 5 votes, right? But some of the votes were for executive. So we'll say we get 3 votes. You and me, Wendy, we get 3 votes on this list.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
So let's discuss each player a little bit, and what we think of their possible candidacy. Now I'm going to try something here, guys. So hold on a second. I'm going to put you guys over here on the side so I can kind of look at your comments. I may not get all of them. And then I have this in front of me. So I might look like our pictures, our things aren't up on there anyways. So for me, Al Arbor, he's going to get in. I just don't see him getting in this year.
I wouldn't give him the vote for it just because, again, for Arbor's case, his hockey playing career, yeah, he won the cup in his career as a player, but he's more so known for being one of the best coaches in NHL history, and that was with the Islanders, so I would not vote him in.
I think that he's going to get voted in. If he gets voted in, it's going to be as a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Because he did coach the Blues. Babbage. I'll be honest, I don't know enough about Babbage to make a decision. I'd have to really go look into I'd have to really do some research on Babbage.
Mm-hmm. So is this the first time St. Louis is doing
This is their second. This is their second one. Their inaugural was last year.
Okay.
Right, and they put all of the retired numbers, and then they put 4 other ones. They put, and I remember 2 of them: Scotty Bowman and Gary Unger. There were 2 more, but I can't remember. I think one of them was Hall, and one was Hall, and I can't remember who the 4th one was. Right? I'd have to go back. I'm sure if I look on this, it would show me who it was. Right? So next name on here, David Backes. For me, he's going to get in. It's just going to take a little while.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think you'll get the vote for right now type of thing.
Yeah. Right. It's going to be as other names come up that, attrition is how he's going to get in my eyes. Right.
I could still see him get voted in, but I don't think that will happen this year this year.
Oh, I'm with you. Now you get into one of those guys where it's what they've done after their career is Jeff Brown.
Okay.
He will get in as a builder sooner or later, right? And then you come to the next guy, and this is how this guy's going to get in: is Kelly Chase, right? I'll say right now, Brown, Chase, and Twist are guys that if they're going to get in, they're going to get in not because of their careers, but because of what they've meant to the city and the team after their careers.
Yeah.
Right. That's where I'm at with them. Dimitra, to me, Dimitra's the slam dunk.
That's a lock.
Yeah, he to me, he's the slam dunk on here. The next one, Grant Fuhr. Fuhr will get in. I just don't know when. Right? I can see that. Next one is Barrett Jackman. Jackman is building up that Kelly Chase, Jeff Brown, Tony Twist, Ackerman with the team. So I can see him getting in, but not in this ballot.
Yeah.
Right. Curtis Joseph. He will be a slam dunk in one of the upcoming ballots. If Dimitra wasn't on this ballot, well, you get 3 votes, but he may. There's somebody else on here, goalie, that's going to get my vote.
Okay.
And it's the next one, Mike Liut.
Okay.
Right, Mike Liut. I would look at this. If we get 3 votes, I would vote forward, goalie, defenseman. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So my forward is going to be Pavel Dimitra.
Yeah.
My goalie, there's 4 goalies on here, is Fuhr, Joseph, Liut, and Plant. I know Plant did so much in the first couple of years with getting them to the finals and that, but I think Liut. I think Liut and the way he stayed around the game and some of that, and for me it's Liut.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then defenseman. Now defenseman's a little bit harder. Because I don't see that many defensemen on here. Was Ramage a defenseman? I want to say he was.
Not 100% sure on that.
Sure, I think he was.
Way before my time.
Huh?
That's way before me, so I would not. I honestly don't know much about him. So.
Hey, Shockey, was he a defenseman? Was Ramage a defenseman? Because he's currently the coach of the Blues Warriors. That's how I know. Right? I think Patey was a defenseman. Yakman was a defenseman, right?
Jackman was
a defenseman. Yakman's a defenseman. Ramage is a defenseman. See, I right now I may have to go with I don't give one to a defenseman. I may have to back off of that. Right? Was Patey a defenseman? I want to say he was. Let's see here. Oh, no, he was a center. Patey was a center. Okay. So actually, there's only 2 defensemen on that list then, I think. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yakman's a defenseman. 3. Yakman, Brown, and Ramage. Because I'm pretty certain that Roberts wasn't. Twist, I'm pretty sure was a forward. I know Chase was a forward. All right. Babbage, I think Babbage was a center. Backus was a forward or a center. So it's Brown, Ramage, and forget who the other one was. Yakman. There we go. Twist was the forward. Well, I mean, who was picked last year as a retired player? Bob Morton. Bob saying he just saw this and we're up and going. Yeah, Bob, sorry, bud. Let's see. Twist was a forward. I was right. That's what I thought. Ramage wasn't picked yet. Who do you think was Shockey? Who are you saying was picked last year? I'd have to go back. Let me do something here real quick. Hold on, guys. So looking at the inaugural class, who I can tell here just from the picture, right? Oh, it's got Red Bernsson's on it. Gary Unger, you've got Pronger, McGinnis, Hull, Fedorko, and the coach. I can't think of his name now. It's slipping me. He won all those trophies with Detroit.
Bowman.
Bowman, yeah. The guy you can't stand.
Well, I can't
You can't
stand his son.
Yeah. So hold on a sec. Here we go. So the class of 23 was Red Berenson, Scotty Bowman, Bernie Fedorko, Bob Gassoff. Now, Berenson, Fedorko, and Gassoff all have retired numbers. They put in Glenn Hall, Brett Hull, retired number, Dan Kelly, retired, Al McGinnis, retired number, Barclay and Bob Plager, retired numbers, Chris Pronger, and then the Solomons. Oh, and then Suter, retired number, and then Gary Unger. There we go. So that was the initial class. I don't think that this class will be as big because the initial class included all the retired numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Criteria. At least 3 seasons or 200 games played in the Bluenote, includes regular season and playoffs, officially retired from the NHL, demonstrated exceptional abilities in the areas of playing ability, sportsmanship, character, and contribution to the St. Louis Blues, won the Stanley Cup or a major NHL award during their tenure with the Blues. To be eligible, a non-player and that must demonstrate or have demonstrated exceptional attributes in coaching, managing, executive ability, or strong ability and other significant off-ice roles, sportsmanship, character, contribution to the Blues, may be active in at the time of his or her nomination. This will be exceptions possible for special people, significant events in Blues history. This was the original selection committee. I think there's 1 or 2 names that are no longer on there now. At least 1 that I know of, maybe 2. There's some good names on there, though. I will say that. That is absolutely some good ones. I think Jim Thomas will not be on this season's committee. Well, he could still be, but he's no longer. He's retired from. Well, no, no. I take that back. That is the current one. So that to me that might be current. That might be the current selection committee. Tom Stillman, Chris Zimmerman, Doug Armstrong, Mike Caruso, John Kelly, Chris Kerber, Ray Barilli, former Blues personnel, Susie Mateau and Jim Woodcock, Blues alumni, Fedorko and Affleck, current media members, Mike Claiborne, Frank Camuso, Jeff Gordon, Randy Character, Martin Kilhorn, I don't even know who that is, to be honest, Dan O'Neill, Jeremy Rutherford, Andy Strickland, Jim Thomas, and Doug Vaughn. And no, I'm not on that list. They don't look at me as a media member. So, good talk though, man. Good fun. The one things that we haven't talked about yet, let me bring this down. A couple of moves that the Blues have made in the last few days we can talk about. Morton, a Brown guy, I can see that. Right in Bomeister for his D. Yeah, that's not a bad one. I might be able to see that. Oh, chasing the radio. Yeah, that's a good one there. The Blues re-signed. I think we already talked about this. They re-signed, or I guess they brought back. I don't know if you can say re-signed, but they signed Sundqvist, right? To a 1-year bet on yourself contract, league minimum. And then they also, before arbitration, re-signed Toropchenko to a 2-year deal worth 2.5, so 1.25 per year. And then they also signed a guy I have never, ever heard of, undrafted. His name just was like, what the? That's how his name played out to me. One of them. What the thing? So he. Are you ready for this? It sounds like a Russian dessert.
Okay.
Biakabutuka.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Yeah. Entry level deal. There you go. Is it showing?
No.
There it is. Biakabutuka. Right?
Yeah, I have no clue how to even pronounce that.
Yeah. I couldn't find it. I couldn't find out where he was from. I haven't done a lot of research, but like in the article, it didn't say where he's from or any of that. Just he's going to play in the Quebec League, I think.
Oh.
He got no. No, it was an AHL signing because he did get some AHL time last year. Might even be in the ECHL. Hey, Shagalicious, how you doing, bud? The signing of Sundqvist, I think that's a good signing, but it's not. It didn't move the needle for me, right? Nothing that the Blues did moved the needle, other than Kevin Hayes. And I don't think the only reason the Hayes deal moved the needle for me is what they gave up. Nothing.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you almost got him for future considerations.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's a good statement. I think he would be an upgrade over Levo, but he's a fourth line guy. Maybe he plays on the third line. You know? You needed a fourth center. You needed a fourth center, and that's exactly what he was. Right? Hayes is somewhat of a replacement of O'Reilly, but not really. Does that make sense?
You aren't going to get a defensive-minded player because Kevin Hayes has never been defensively strong from what I've seen from him when he was with the Rangers, when he was with Philly, with the Jets. I always saw him more of a offensive-minded forward versus a defensive-minded. He can play the defensive side of the puck okay. He's just not the strongest at it. That's how I've seen it with Kevin Hayes.
Yeah, he's gonna be a second or third line center. He moves up to second if Shin moves over to forward. Right? We had the reporter on from the guy that replaced. We had Matthew DeFranks. He goes by Matt. Someone kind of gave me some crap on that. And he talked about Hayes being the third line center, or if they go ahead and they move Shen over to forward, maybe he moves up. But in all actuality, you only have 4 natural centers on this team, right? You have Thomas, you have Shin, you have Hayes, and you have Sundqvist. If you want to look at an area where your depth is weak, I say it's right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, Walker is a center. I think Walker's a center, but Walker will probably be in the AHL. I like Walker. I like the energy Walker brings. But Walker's not going to get... There's one thing. I read the article. There's an article by Jeremy Rutherford on The Athletic. And I got deep in the article. It was a question and answer. I look at this team right now, and I go, Armstrong put everything on Berube. Here are your players. Here's your guys. Now you have to win. This to me is, if he doesn't win, and I mean the leash is probably going to be very, very short. He's out the door.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I see the Sundqvist signing as. That's what I see the Hayes signing as. Right? That's what I see. You know, the other guys that they signed, the AHL guys who the four who are McCachran, bringing McCachran back. McCachran was a well-liked guy by Berube. He brought in Berube-style players. AC, this is the one area where you and me really kind of disagree, right? I look at our defensemen and I'd say our defensemen are not the issue, right? And everyone wants to put it's like you're picking at a scab,
Mm-hmm.
but you're never addressing the wound itself, right?
Yeah.
Does that? Oh no, yeah, that's a great question. Well, the thing is because if you don't do something because you're stuck with Berube for 2 more years, and if you're trying for the future, sticking with Berube doesn't help your future at all, right? Even if Krug waves, well, the other part of that was there's a defenseman from Philly that they wanted to get, and it starts with an S. I don't remember his name. That was mentioned, right? And I think that had a lot to do with it. I don't remember his name, Wendy. It starts with an S.
Sanheim?
Yeah, I think that's it.
I'm trying to think if that's that sounds like who you might be talking about. Travis Sanheim?
Huh?
Travis Sanheim?
Yeah, I think that was it.
I do have a question. Is St. Louis going to name a captain this year?
Yeah, it was Sanheim that they were looking at with that. Yeah, I think it was Sanheim. Oh man, oh wow, yeah. But even there, I mean, that was a 1-for-1 move there. Trading Krug for Sanheim because their salary are almost the same.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Sanheim's younger though.
Yeah, a little younger. Yeah. What was your question again, Wendy?
Is St. Louis going to name a captain this year?
I don't think so, but if they do, I'm like I think I know who it is. Right?
Then?
No.
Okay.
No. Not Shin. And look, Shin is a great example. Shin is a good example.
Mm-hmm.
However, Shin has something that this other player doesn't have. Shelf life.
Okay.
You don't bring 2 guys in on 8-year contracts.
You're saying Thomas.
It's got to be Thomas.
Okay.
Right?
I just know on the Hawks side, they most likely won't have a captain this year.
You're going with the 3 A's?
That's what it looks like. It sounds like they'll likely do 3 A's. Connor Murphy, Steph Jones as locks to have their own A full time, and then they'll rotate the third A to a different player almost every other game.
Okay, well, the way the Blues did it, they had 4 A's. They had home A's, away A's.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 home A's, 2 away A's. I could see them going with the 3 A's and then adding maybe 1 or 2 more
mm-hmm.
that rotate in and out a little bit.
Okay.
Right? But I don't see them going, if they go 5 A's and they say this guy's an A always, and then these 2 are home A's and these 2 are away A's, you might as well just name the guy with the always an A the captain.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, but here's where I'm at. The Hawks have history of something interesting when it comes to their next captain, because what they did before they named Jonathan Toews captain of the Blackhawks.
Yeah.
In Kane and Toews rookie season, there was 0 captain on the team. There was actually, they rotated the A to every player on the roster each month. Toews wore the A in December of their rookie season.
Yeah.
The Hawks already knew Toews was going to be the captain of the Chicago Blackhawks basically day one, but they wanted to do it where they gave the A to everyone on the roster, just knowing who will be around for a long time. Then they named the captain at the Blackhawks. I believe it would have been their first ever Blackhawks convention in Chicago.
Hmm.
And I have a weird suspicion the Hawks could do something similar this year and eventually name Connor Bedard the next captain of the Chicago Blackhawks in the next couple seasons.
Well, okay. I got to say something real quick, buddy. AC Generator just said that the Blues don't have enough salary cap to afford his salary. Dude, if you're making $300,000 a year, come support me, buddy, in the show and start sponsoring the show, my friend, because they got $293,000 in cap space left.
Mm-hmm.
Deadline cap space is 1.3. They're going to have cap space. I think they're going to have cap space because you know what? Somebody's going on LTIR, right? Somebody's going to end up on LTIR. It's just, it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way all of these guys, somebody doesn't get hurt. Just no way in my eyes. Right? Oh, actually, for centers, you also have Alexandrov. I forgot about him. He's a natural center. Right? Let's see here. Shaggy says, I believe Hoffer will get many starts more than most believe. Benner's not. See, AC, are you trying to start shit? Because, first of all, Bennington's only been suspended one time, and he shouldn't have been suspended. I will say that right here and now. I know, Wendy, you say, well, if he punches the guy with the blocker, it's an automatic suspension.
It is.
It happened in the playoffs, and it didn't, and nobody got suspended.
I know that, but in the actual rule books, there is a rule in place for that to be a legit suspension.
Then why isn't it also a suspension if the opposing goalie crosses the red line? When did they remove that rule?
That I'm not 100% sure on. I honestly,
it used to be. It used to be.
I know that. I don't think it is anymore because you don't see it happen really at all anymore.
Do you know why now I believe that Bennington should not have been suspended for that and shouldn't even have been kicked out of the game for it?
Why?
Have you heard the interview he did?
No.
It was with a former, I want to say he was a Canadian, right? He did an interview with a former player, and they're talking about, basically, Marc-Andre Fleury had given an interview a few years ago where he had said he always wanted to get in a goalie fight.
Yeah.
So you know what interview I'm talking about now?
I know about Fleury. He's basically said it. I know what Fleury has said because he said it when he was with the Hawks.
There's more to this story, though. There's more to this story. They have a mutual friend, and through that mutual friend, Bennington reached out to Fleury and said, if the situation's warranted, I'll go. Fleury reached back and said, okay. the game before, the time that they played him before, things got raised.
Mm-hmm.
But Fleury didn't come out. This time, Fleury comes out. To me, at this point, you put all that together, this was not suspension worthy. When you add all the knowledge, this was, first of all, Bennington had every right to do what he did because the guy hit him in the back from a defenseless position. And I forget, what was it, Fugliano that did it? Who was it? The guy's been in trouble before. From the Wild. I forget who it was. Come on, AC. Who was it that hit Bennington, that hit him from behind after he scored a goal? Hofer's going to Bennington's not going to start 30 games this season. Or 60 games again. 65 games. He's going to be closer to that 55, 50 mark, I think. I think that's the right number for him. Right? No, Fleury didn't wussy out. The referees weren't going to let it happen. The refs weren't going to let it happen. It was Hartman. Okay, Hartman. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you take the totality of everything there, Matt Lowe, it notches down what happened. And it puts some context to what happened. And when you add that context, I go, no big deal. Does that make sense, Win?
I see where you're coming from.
Right? Oh no, the refs were between the two players. They were holding Bennington back. They were holding Fleury back. They were threatening Fleury with getting kicked out of the game. They were not going to let those two go at it. It was not going to happen. Right? It was not going to happen. That game at that point, after Hartman had gotten to that point, and here's my thing. My whole issue with this was Hartman has been suspended before. Hartman was not the innocent guy in this. Right? We were destroyed long before that, bud. We were destroyed long before that. We were destroyed in the first month of the season when we had that 8-game losing streak. After the 3-game winning streak and then the 7-game winning streak. We never got back to 500. So, you know what, Jason? That's not true. You can. Who destroyed us? Are you saying that Bennington destroyed us the rest of the year? I'm not sure who you're saying there, bud. Are you saying Hartman did? I'd have to go back and look. I don't remember. I just think when you put the totality of everything and you take a step back, Bennington's suspension was wrong. Bennington's ejection was wrong. If you're going to eject Bennington, you need to eject Hartman also. Hartman, and not only that, remember when we listened to the NHL safety's explanation of it, Wendy?
It's been so long. At this point.
Yeah, but you were on the show when I brought this up. I remember this. And one of the things that I brought up, I kept saying, you've listened to a lot of these, and I've listened to a lot of these. What did you hear in this one that you almost never hear? And there was a ton of editorialization to make it seem worse than what it was. Right? It was not this was editorialization throughout. Bennington did this and and there were editorialized words. I don't remember the whole thing, but it was extremely editorialized to make it worse than what it was. Bennington should not have gotten suspended. And Hartman should have gotten ejected from the game. Right? Hartman's celebration, if you watch him, if he goes in a straight line, he comes nowhere near the crease. He doesn't go in a straight line. He heads towards the red line and then cuts over towards the crease. So he beelined into that. Right? He could have easily avoided Bennington, and he didn't. And not only that, Hartman told the referee before the play Bennington was going to go off. He was going to make sure of it. That was the other part of this that blew my mind. Blew my mind. Hartman told the ref he was going to do it, and the ref let him do it, and then punished Bennington. Remember, because this was the bully fight we had. This is where I kept saying, this is where you're blaming the guy for fighting back and not the bully. Remember, Matt Lowe, you got really mad at me. You and a few other guys really got mad at me and left the show because of this. I remember that conversation now. Right? Hartman was playing the bully, and the ref, being the teacher, let him do it and let him get away with it, and then blamed the kid getting bullied for his actions. That when you add all that into it, that's where I have to sit there and go, the league owes Bennington an apology, and that suspension needs to come off his record. I don't think he's unstable. I think that's a mischaracterization. He's passionate. That doesn't make him unstable. Right? And if you... see, I don't want to get in the argument, bud. I don't want to get in the argument. But to me, Hartman was the predicator in this, not the victim. He was the perpetrator, not the victim. Oh, what a good show, man. Hey, thanks for coming on, Win.
No problem.
Right? I know there's not a lot going on, but I will say this. I am planning on being in St. Louis during the month of October and a little bit of November.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I would love if we could do a live show together somewhere.
It's going to be difficult just because I'm going into my final semester of school.
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be a lot of the time I'm up in Chicago too.
Okay. Well, if you're around town, around the area that I know you're at, that I can come to, right? We could find a place and set up a live show. I would love to do it. Mm-hmm. Especially since the teams, for the last few years, the teams have been like this, right? Mm-hmm. You know, one's been good and the other's been bad, or vice versa. Now they're both down here.
Even though the Hawks might actually win a little bit more this year compared to St. Louis, so. It feels like.
I think so. I have the Hawks probably in fifth or sixth place in the division.
I have the Hawks fluctuating between 7th and 6th.
I would give them, as is, taking Bedard out, I would give them 6th place.
As is, if without Bedard, I would have the Hawks at 8th.
No, Arizona hasn't really done anything. Arizona is going to be the worst team in that league.
Arizona made a lot of good moves, and the team plays a competitive game with Arizona. The Hawks play competitive, yes, but Corey Perry, Nick Foligno, Taylor Hall really don't turn that level compared to what they had last season.
Yeah. For me, the team that took the biggest dump from last year is Winnipeg.
I really like what Winnipeg did by getting rid of the. It seemed like a locker room cancer of PLD to LA because I like what they got for Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Aren't they going to trade Hellebuck?
He might be moved at the trade deadline, depending on how Winnipeg is. At this point, I don't see Hellebuck getting traded before the regular season.
Oh, there's talk about it. There's still talk. I know the problem is money, but when it comes down to it, and if they trade Hellebuck, they're going nowhere.
I will say this: if the Jets trade Hellebuck before the regular season, I expect Hellebuck to be a New Jersey Devil.
Maybe.
That is a one piece team
needs. The thing is, I don't think New Jersey needs. I don't think New Jersey would take that move.
I can see it. Apparently, they've been one of the teams that are highly interested in Hellebuck.
To me, a goalie like Hellebuck really needs to go to a team that's like right on the edge
of winning.
Of being a contender.
Right now, I feel like New Jersey is there. They just need the right goaltender. They don't have the goaltending to win the cup yet. Yeah. If they were to land Hellebuck, in my opinion, the New Jersey Devils will be in the Stanley Cup final this upcoming year.
There's one other team that I think he could go to that he could really elevate that team to the next level. Maybe not contender, but very close.
Trying to think who would say.
Especially with the guy that they will have as the backup. I think that between the two of them, this team would shock the NHL. And I think they'd make a run in the playoffs.
Hurricanes?
No.
Panthers?
Nope. Think outside the box a little bit. Think of a team that needs to make the playoffs. Detroit. You put him in Detroit with Husso. Husso had a decent year on a bad team. You put Hellebuck in Detroit. Oh, that's another good one too. Yeah, I didn't think about that. They got Soros though. I don't think that they would. That's one of those issues.
Nashville honestly is on the. It's trying to retool on the fly, and it's going to fail.
They've also got a goalie in their system that's really, really good.
Askarov.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So to me, Hellebuck going there and they have Soros, right?
Yes.
Hellebuck going to there with Soros. That's one of them where now you have oil and water. Right? That's the same situation that you had in Minnesota 2 years ago when they brought in Fleury, and I forget who the goalie was at the time that they had. Talbot, right? And how quickly that was oil and water, right? And I even said when that trade was made, I said this is bad because of this. Remember that? Remember me talking about that? I see Hellebuck to Nashville as being that same thing.
Yeah.
But I see Hellebuck going to Detroit with Husso, where Husso's not an elite guy. He's a starter, but not an elite starter. He takes that step back, and it doesn't affect the team as much. In fact, it strengthens the team. Problem with that Hellebuck to Montreal is Carey Price.
And also, Montreal is not in.
If Carey Price comes back, no matter what condition he's in, he's the starter there.
Montreal also is not in any position to make a trade for a player or like a goalie like Hellebuck. They're still rebuilding. They're now nowhere near ready to make a move to get a goalie like Hellebuck.
Right. You think? Oh, so trading Soros for Hellebuck. Oh, I couldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do it. I'd want. I mean, you say Brissot isn't gonna cut it. That's fine, but they've got that Oskarov, who's, from what I understand, pretty close to ready to come in.
I think Askarov needs maybe 1.5 more seasons in the AHL.
Wouldn't he do better getting being a backup
Not
to
yet.
Soros on a decent team?
They're not really truly a decent team. They're a
team that you could consider for the playoffs. I would put them in the top 4 of the division.
I could say they'll be 4th place, but they won't make the playoffs.
I can
There's
see
only
playoffs from 4th.
I honestly am saying it right now. 3 teams will come out of the Central Division to make the playoffs.
The Central has gotten weaker. Yes, the Central has gotten weaker.
The Central is the worst division in the NHL.
And what's funny is because they've gone from being the best division in the NHL to being one of the worst.
Yeah. The Central is the worst in the NHL.
Flip. There are teams in this division that could have very surprising seasons that could flip that. Right? And it's the 3 teams that we're talking about. Winnipeg, St. Louis, and Chicago. All 3 of those teams have the potential to put it together. Okay. Besides the Jets back up, they need an NHL ready goalie. Okay, you got me there. I didn't realize. And you know what? I think that the way they're retooling, if they go into rebuild mode, they're going to have somebody. I don't think they're going to get a goalie back. And
Winnipeg is going to. If Winnipeg trades Hellebuck, that is them saying they're going into a full rebuild, and they don't care if they get wins.
Right? Yeah. No, you might be right, AC, but I just don't see. Yeah, if they, like you said, if they trade Hellebuck, that's they're now saying we're rebuilding. Right, but they're going to get a haul for Hellebuck.
Oh yeah.
They're going to get a haul. They're going to get
one of the best goalies in the league.
They're going to get guys that are NHL ready. They could possibly get Askarov.
It won't happen.
I mean, he's what, 21, 22 now?
He would be 21.
Has he come
maybe
over yet?
20? No.
In the KHL.
I think he's only 20.
20. So I don't think he's come over yet.
No, he's in the A.
He is in the AHL?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I thought that he got pulled. I thought his visa got pulled for the Russian thing.
No, he's in the AHL.
Okay. Right. Well, what a show. An hour and a half, and I didn't think I'd get 30 minutes. So thanks for coming on, Wendy, helping me out. We had a great show tonight. Thank you guys for watching. Win, I'll talk to you later. Don't know when the next show will be. It kind of be up. Well, I will probably be while I'm in San Diego the week of the 7th. I might do a show one of the days I'm there. It won't be on Thursday. I know that because that's the day of the ceremony. But I will probably do something while I'm in San Diego. I'm taking my gear, right? I might do an off show. I might do a Navy show. So just talk about the Navy. So it wouldn't be a hockey show, but try and get some guys, that I served with to get in and talk about the military and that and some of that. I might do something like that. At least that's what I'm hoping to do. Right? You're welcome there. You're welcome. Shag, sorry, man. It just kind of, you came in a little late. I didn't think, even when you came in, I was at a point where we're going to quit, but we ran a little longer. Thank you, E. I greatly appreciate it. Wendy, thank you so much. Hey, everyone. This is Guy the Wild Blues fan saying thank you for watching. Aloha mahalo. And you got to know, boys, what do I say?
To all you Blues fans, we're bleeding blue with you.
Let's go!